Hello, everyone. Welcome back to hour number 4 of Die Party Hollow Earth Expedition, week number 6. So, Wreckage, tell me, what do we find when we explore the whatever surrounding this valley is in?
Okay, so you're taking the lead, essentially. They're deferring to you on this one because Balaclava Benny has no reason to be in charge. It's your escapade that you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, First of all, you don't tell Otto, right?
No,
Checking.
don't tell
Okay,
Otto.
don't tell Otto. Uh, and where do you want to go? You are, just for clarity, uh, you are on a raised piece of land, a sort of cliff that is along the mountains. The valley itself, you can tell from where you are, is shaped like vaguely like a crescent moon, right?
Mm.
Um, the cliff with the monastery and the village on it is on the inside curve of that moon. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Uh, the entrance that you came in, that you entered into Shangri-La from, is on the south bottom of the curve, and you guys followed a little path and crossed a golden river, and walked up the cliff, which becomes flush with the valley floor uh, along that path. In the center and into the center south and going up slightly to the north along the cliff
Hmm.
is a forest
Okay.
with some and many rivers cut through the valley. In the northern half of the valley, you can see that it is just flat and more valley. Uh, there is a dewy mist, a fog over everything, um, so you can't make out fine details from where you are. Where would you like to explore with your little troop first?
Well, we're gonna go as far along the inside ridge of the um, crescent moon, as you say. If we came in one way, we gotta be able to leave the other way. So let's go check out that.
So you're trying to go north? Is that what you mean?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. So you're trying to go in the direction you haven't already been
Yeah. Pretty
from the.
much. Yep.
All right. Are you and you say you're traveling along this raised cliff where the monastery and the village is instead of going down to the valley floor?
No, we'll go down to the valley floor.
Okay. Um, and then you just follow the interior curve,
Yeah. Pretty
quickest
much.
route
Yeah.
as the crow flies.
Yep.
All right. So that's going to cut through a forest. Um,
Okay.
as is pretty much necessary. If you want to go from the south to the north, you're going to have to pass through said forest at some point in time. Um, So, you travel over a bridge that's over a river, and that puts you in the same piece of land, so to speak, separated by rivers, as the forest.
Okay.
And you just walk through the forest, heading north.
Yeah. If you need me, I can make survival checks. I mean, like.
No, that's not going to be necessary. You can pretty much keep the cliff face to your right, so you won't get lost.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
but it is a pretty thick and it's a pretty lush forest. It's got a lot of undergrowth. Um, every once in a while, you look up and see deer, hopping away, or birds tweeting above. You get the suspicion that there are other animals in the forest too, various noises and scamperings, etc. Uh, and you just make your way north.
Yep.
Uh, what's real quick, just for keeping everybody in the same time frame, check out what Otto is doing. Otto, what do you do?
Well, let's see. Otto probably has breakfast. Has kind of been expecting the Americans to come around. Obviously, that hasn't happened.
What you'll
Um,
see when you go to breakfast, that'll
hmm,
actually catch you up with Frank. Frank,
Mm-hmm.
eventually they stop praying and they head
Okay.
up for breakfast onto the cafeteria floor.
I'm gonna follow the abbot and go ahead and sit down with him for breakfast. I want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, he sits at a specific
Um,
table. Otto,
okay.
hmm.
joining them for breakfast, you will see of that entire group, the only people attending breakfast are the arch fellow and the small bookish looking fellow, who you may easily surmise is Professor Clendon, that has been mentioned in passing.
Are this Arch and the Professor Clendon in close proximity?
No. The Professor Clendon has found the uninhabited edge of the table to fill with books, and he's eating while reading.
Well, I think I'll go say hello to the professor.
Okay.
I'll saunter on up and and say, good morning, Professor Clendon, is it?
Oh, yes. Hello. Hi. Hello. Yes, I'm Professor Clendon.
I see you are enjoying some of the literature.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, have you seen the collection they have here? I mean, this one is a perfect account of uh, of Babylon. I didn't think such a thing could possibly exist, or if it did, that it most likely was in the Library of Alexandria when that burned down. But here they have up-to-date information about it.
So, Professor, I take it then that your field of expertise is history, anthropology, sociology?
Archaeology and anthropology and history are my fields. I have done well. I mean, you wouldn't know anything about it, but I once found a rather unknown tomb along the Nile. Nothing amazing. Very very small time, but this is much different. It changes everything.
But of course, it changes everything. I agree with you entirely. Sadly, I would love to say that the books on chemistry were as comprehensive as the books on history, but such is not the case. Anyway, what are you reading now? This book on Babylon, you say?
Oh yes. I mean, we always suspected that they would have had more accurate record keeping than anything that survived. But this is practically a day-to-day account of the city's affairs.
Absolutely astonishing. So, are you enjoying your breakfast? Never mind. I should not be plying you with these questions. But if ever you wish to discuss, say some of the finer points of, I have some interesting notions about the Babylonians and their batteries. How on earth they made lead acid batteries back in the day. Maybe we should discuss it over coffee some evening.
Oh well, I imagine once I finish reading this book, I could have. Secondhand, of course. I would merely be repeating this, but I would certainly be able to participate in such a conversation. Honestly, I hardly even taste my food with such excellent food for thought in the books. You know.
Excellent. Well then, I shall leave you to it. Feel free to come by my house when you get a chance.
Yes, of course.
And then I'll head over to Arch because there will be no good conversation here.
Sure, Arch.
Yep.
Before he arrives, you would have had a few minutes alone with the bishop or the abbot. You guys keep calling him random other things. He is the
I only
abbot.
called Costello once.
Anyway,
I propose we dub him Pontiff.
Costello.
no,
I like
stop it. He's an abbot.
What
It's
about
very-
Pocahontas? We can go to that.
Yeah,
The Jungle
Pontiff
Princess.
Pontus. So,
yeah. What do you talk to him about?
I couldn't help but noticing that you guys seem to really get some peace out of what you're doing here. You guys seem to have a nice little. I shovel some food in my mouth while I think. Nice little way about you. It's something I miss in my life. And I wait for the abbot to say something.
It is hard to find problems when you live in such a perfect place. It has a natural way of bringing peace to oneself. Not to say we don't endeavor to further that peace with our training and our ceremonies.
And how long did it take you personally to let go and find this peace? I'm guessing more than a couple years.
That was an awful long time ago. Why
Didn't you train your memories?
I
asked
can't say.
innocently.
Well, there's only so much meditation can do. I have to say that in my youth, my more energetic youth, I may have gotten into trouble every now and again, but for the most part, I have always found my station to be appropriate and fulfilling.
To have the memories and to have your meditation, it must be like I don't know, like a talisman or something to help keep you sane, to help keep you at peace. I miss that.
Frank, you sneaky little bandit. Anyway.
Talisman? Well, uh, there are such talismans in existence, but we have no need for
I'm actually
any
not as sneaky as you thought I was, Dave, but
additional
okay, I can
help.
see where you're going. But it's just that you know what? I don't know if I can reach that level, and I'm worried at how long it will take me.
Oh,
You
well.
see, well, let me cut you off there, Mr. Abbott, sir. There's been I tell him the whole life story. Like, I was a young lad, and I went and I saw some pretty horrible things in the war. And
Well, slow up,
one thing,
because you will be able to come to the table and join in just as he's beginning his life story.
it was going to be like 4 sentences. It wasn't going to be terrible.
Well, that's
no,
just
no, I need to be there for that life story.
Okay.
even
Sit
if it's
down,
something of
whip
the
out
life
that
story.
napkin, get some. If they've
Okay.
got popcorn, I'm eating it.
That's
Okay.
just about the moment when Otto will join you for the conversation in question.
Okay. I tip Otto with the stein that I hopefully got filled with something. Actually, I think I've still got it. Well, I was a pretty young lad when I ran away to dreams that I thought would be glory and fame and fortune, and I was proved wrong very fast. I saw a lot of people. I pause, wipe my eye real quick, look away, count to 4 in my head to really give it that good, long, theatrical pause. I saw some stuff in there that I'm not proud of, but I got out of there. I got through it. And the only thing that helped me get through it, the first guy who ever saved my life, he ended up dropping a revolver, Webley, I believe, 41 caliber, British pattern, and I've carried that thing with me for, oh man, I've however many years it's been that I've been there. I don't know the number offhand. And you know what? Few things have hurt me and infuriated me as much as learning I wouldn't get that back. I would like to have my pistol back, sir.
I've heard this story before.
There's not much I can do. I'm having a hard time sleeping, and I can't quite promise a lot of stuff, but I feel like having something from my past that I can remember things by would go a long way towards helping me accept my new lot in life.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Though it is hard for me to empathize with such an emotional attachment to a mere item. Perhaps something
Think of it
could
less
be
as the
arranged.
attachment to the item. Think of it more as the attachment to what made me into the person I am today. And
Perhaps
without
your
remembering where I
firearm
came
could
from.
be returned to you without its ammunition. If its sentimental value is so great, it would simply be an item then, and
I'd be
not
glad
a
to.
weapon.
I would be quite excited to see it. That could work. May I please follow you to get it, sir? I'm doing my best penitent face.
I wish to shoot you with it, so.
It will be retrieved in due time. I am afraid that it is not simply in the drawer in the desk in my office, as it were. Was this the Great War that you are discussing?
I wouldn't have called it great, but it was a war, and there was a lot of countries, and there was a lot of people, a lot of mud, a lot of explosions. I stopped writing after that one. I stare off into the distance, mind racing, trying to think of another angle to take. So,
Otto. He turns
Okay.
to you, Otto, who is here.
Indeed.
You've told me a little bit about the Great War yourself.
Yeah.
You never mentioned if you participated.
Um. hmm,
Oh, I
I did
experimented
not.
on a few prisoners.
Oh, you bastard! Uh, I did not directly participate. Just had a little bit of behind-the-scenes work, as they say.
Hmm. Hmm. Would you say that would you say the Great War was inevitable? Historically.
Inevitable. Historically inevitable.
At this point, I'm going to elbow in. I'm going to say I don't think anything's inevitable, but there are a lot of people that wanted it.
Hmm.
And if only with the few right people could have put a stop to that.
The, the
I don't
Third
know,
Reich,
if people-
actually, it's called.
If people had actually, people who would spend their lives thinking of enlightenment and peace would have been out in the world to help them, or people who had seen that that was possible, that would have been great too. I look
Rex
at the
kicks
abbot,
in
but
the
I
door,
guess,
smoking a
we'll never
cigarette.
know.
Say like that's bullshit, man.
Yeah, that's a crock of lies.
Shut up. I'm playing I'm using my 2 charisma here.
Yeah.
Our brothers and sisters on the surface in the country known as Tibet have not garnered any such respect as far as I am aware. It seems to me that the surface world is too wrought with suffering to be as peaceful and as at ease as we are here. I do not hold the events of your world against the people of your world. I'm sure if everywhere was as Shangri-La is, such a thing would never be necessary.
It's a pretty thought, Abbott. But without people to show us the way, I fear you might be right.
He wipes his mouth with a little dinner cloth, and he sits up. Your sentimental weapon will be returned to you sans ammunition, in the same way that your other possessions were returned to you. Good day. And he goes to leave.
Okay.
Interesting
I don't know
tactic, Frank.
Yeah.
I got a low cunning in me. So, but
You could just walk up to him and like fucking handcuff yourself to him. That works too.
yeah, see, that's what we call the opposite of low cunning. That's what we call low.
Hey, Rex is played a certain way,
Yes.
man, and when he gets frustrated, it's like
No, I mean,
Yeah.
hey, everyone's got a breaking point, and if you play it well, rock on. But I'm thinking, all right, Otto. I look over at Otto. Hey, Otto. You interested in grabbing some extra stuff from the gear, some fun new chemicals to blow things up with?
Have you located where the... I'm going to hush my voice a little bit. And have you located where the supplies are?
I said, no, but I have located a person who is going to make another person go get him. So I vote we follow this Abbott guy. But I think it might be suspicious if I try. But, it might be less suspicious if someone else was to say. Or if we had 2 people doing it.
I must
But-
admit, it is very, 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 very intriguing. Well, what do we know? We know that that your firearm will be returned to you at value sleep. So it must come from the monastery late at night, which means...
Mhm.
Do you think they will retrieve it now, or do you think they will wait until later tonight?
I personally think it would be later, but I'd be guessing. The only way to be sure would be to have a rolling tail on this guy, have 2 people following him. But I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up. This guy seems like he's kind of a canny sumbitch. I mean, he seems like an intelligent individual, and probably practices staring at flying moths so he could hear them flying or something. So we're going to need to be careful about this. But
He can hear their wings flapping.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not exceptionally. Anyway, continue.
that's But everyone can hear the whir. But few things rankle me as much as being stolen from, and I've been stolen from. I vote we fix this. Are you with me?
Well,
I mean, there's stuff in it for you too. I just want
z-
my stuff back. Everything else, you want to make experiments. I guarantee if we can get you some ammunition, I've got shotgun shells, which will give you lead, little blasting caps, so you got some powder charges. The bullets will give you copper jackets. They'll give you more lead. They'll give you brass casings. Brass you can melt down, make all
all
sorts
right,
of fun stuff
Arch,
with.
Arch. Yes, let me tell you, I am in, as the Americans would say. However,
That's my
I have
man.
a
Slap him on his shoulder.
little caveat. What we must do first is we need to come up with a tenable plan. It would be very obvious if I was trying to rolling tail the abbot, as you say. So so we need a better plan, and then I am in.
All right. Well, we do have enough people. Because at this point, I'm not really sure what Dave and everyone or what Rex and everybody are doing.
They
So
didn't
just
show
been
up to
hanging out.
breakfast, so you can maybe.
Yeah, I have no idea.
As they told you, you were yesterday when they were discussing the whole walking the valley thing, so you can assume rather easily that is what has happened.
Okay.
So, the last place that we saw your worldly possessions was downstairs in the cellar. I've been down there once or twice. I know that there's a gated direction. So my thought is that it probably went from the cellar deeper, if it went anywhere. And if that is indeed the case, then perhaps we should focus the efforts of our stakeout there.
That's the word. I like that idea. And how sneaky of an individual are you? You good at hiding?
Oh.
And I understand you're wearing a white jacket, which doesn't exactly camouflage. But
If I may be absolutely, perfectly, and totally blunt, I am surprised anew every time I succeed in evading detection.
okay, that makes sense. So I've got like a rating of 5. So
If I had to put a number on how stealthy I was, I'd probably be a 5.
there's not really a
If I had to
conceptual
apply an
way to
arbitrary
discuss this stuff.
metric,
Yes.
I would say that I have 5 dice that each have a 50% chance of succeeding or
On a
failing.
numerical scale of an intangible, I'm going to go with 5. So, in that case, what I think would be a good idea, because I've poked around that cellar as well. And there's a lot of very large barrels in there, and if you crack one, if we can probably empty one of them, you could probably fit somebody in there. Or you could. It's the shit goes in the sand like a sponge. You just smack a hole in the bottom, it'll fucking sponge itself out.
Yeah,
Kinda. So or you can just hide behind them and someone hide, then said person could see how that gate moves, works, or operates, and then once we know how it works, we have a better chance of getting past it.
Well, you do have that handy axe of yours.
That I do. It's the one thing I still got under my hat and my flask.
That non-lethal axe of yours.
It's completely non-lethal. I freshly unlethaled it 20 minutes ago.
Nice.
Non-lethal spray.
It's actually a spray axe. Oh wait, ew. I don't want to make them smell like freaking douchebags. But all right, so I believe that I'm thinking probably the best idea to see how the gate works would be for someone to be hiding in there when they open it. Now, you think it should be you or you think it should be me? Because I think I might be a 5 times as sneakier than a terrible person at this, gent. But I also have a feeling that if I'm not there, they might not give me my gun back. or they might just like leave it in my bag the way they did with everything else. So,
Well,
like I could also
would,
put a yeah.
I would advise that it be you, especially since so much is on the line for you.
Yeah.
I will do what I can to assist, perhaps, but there's going to be trouble if I am the one who needs to be particularly quiet. I could just see me now, sneezing inside the barrel.
Good point. Tell you what, you want to be at Actually, I don't. Do you need to Huh.
What, breathe? I think so.
Well, no. I'm just thinking like, does this need? Is this a 2-person thing now? I'm just gonna be
Honestly,
hiding there. Yeah.
I don't think it's much of a 2-person thing, except
Yeah.
maybe a lookout when you need to do your barrel breaking. You terrible
Actually-
person, you.
Good point. Yes, me sneaky, devious little shitbag me. All right. Well, in that case, do you mind giving me a hand while I figure out a good hiding spot? Keep an eye out for me, and then after that, I'll. You a bit of a drinker, sir? I can spare you a nice little bottle of whiskey for it.
Drinker.
Eric, sour mash. I apologize. We don't have much of the German stuff around here.
Well, I do occasionally enjoy a small bottle, but I wouldn't call myself much of a drinker. I am, how you say, social person.
I'm sure you can find something flammable to pour it on, or some sort of distillation technique to turn into something you could use for a chemical thingy, right?
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked. I have a small distillery that I have set up. And you know, that promise of copper was most intriguing because I'm going to need to replace some of those parts very soon. You would not believe how much trouble it is to run your purification tables without good solid copper.
That is more true than you know. As far as my character works. So yeah, in that case, you want to keep a lookout while I go make myself a hiding spot in the basement?
Jawohl.
Okay, I'm gonna knock back the stein so I have an excuse to go down there and refill it, and I'm gonna head down to the basement.
Okay. Otto? You're on the 3rd floor in the cafeteria having this conversation. Do you nonchalantly follow him in order to keep an eye out, or what's the deal?
No, actually, what I'll do. Sorry. What I'll do is I'll actually wait. Oh, I don't know, about a minute or so, and then head down afterwards. Probably hanging out somewhere in the main hall, near the top of the stairs is kind of where I'll go.
All right. Frank,
Mm-hmm.
as Arch Strathmore.
Yep.
You're heading down to the basement?
Heading on down to the basement.
You're
Got the
trying
empty stein.
All right,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going down to the basement. All right, you've pounded one back in order to create the alibi for why you're in the basement.
Yep.
Why don't? What do you do now? You're in the basement cellar. It's empty.
Is there any places I could conceivably hide without having to bust open a giant 8-foot wide barrel full of booze?
It might be possible to squeeze behind those barrels, but you're not sure of how good of a view you would have of. I mean, honestly, hiding in the barrel, same problem. It's not just about hiding. You also
Need to be able to see.
You also need. So it needs to be a hiding spot where you can see what they do or don't do, but also where they don't see you.
Do.
That's why I was thinking that, if I could. All right, is there like a really almost empty barrel? Okay, how big are the bungs in those barrels? They're like about an inch wide. About how wide's the hole?
They're pretty big. I mean, they're for big barrels. Conceivably, if the barrel was completely empty and the bung wasn't in the hole, you would have a hole large enough to say look through.
Okay.
Then again,
Okay.
the barrel would also obviously be missing its
Bung.
bung.
Bung is the proper term, which
Yeah.
is also fun to say.
Bung. Bung,
Um,
bung. And
bung,
now
bitty,
it has
bung,
no meaning. Yeah, well, none of the barrels are super empty. They all sound like they have at least a third in them, although one of them sounds like it's almost completely full, and then they vary between those two extremes. There's about 8 of them that are sideways, ready for use, so to speak.
Is there anything else? Like, can I fit under a barrel? Can I fit around them and be able to see? Is there like, what are
How big are you?
average size, normal size? I'm a healthy guy. I got a good body and a decent strength, but I'm just normal size.
Body 4. Right, well, right. I mean,
Yeah.
size rating is normal size, but I mean, how many feet tall are you? Are you broad? Are you muscular?
I was guessing slightly broader than normal, not terribly more muscular than usual, but a little bit more muscular than average guy. I'm a lot. I'd say average height, but a little bit wider than normal guys.
You might be able to squeeze in the triangular gap made by 2 adjacent barrels. You know, they circle up on each other and sort of meet at the top, and then sort of you might be able to fit in one of those gaps at the floor level. You could fit behind the barrels, as previously stated. I mean, the whole getting inside the barrel thing, that one's a bit of a...
It's a stretch, but that
It's
was
a
the
bit of a
first thing that
stretch.
came to
How are
mind,
you even
yeah.
going to get in? How are you going to put... If you chop your way in, how do you make it not look like you chopped your way in?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, like, I kind of want to lay around them so you don't have, like, soggy, booze-soaked sand that the monks are going to clean up that just happens to be all around me. In that case, I'm just going to test it out, see if I can fit in the gap there.
Underneath the barrels?
In the triangular gap.
Sure. All right. Why don't you give me your stealth roll?
Hey,
That's pretty good.
rock on. Finally, first time I actually had a non-30% roll.
I think we're rounding a corner, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I hope so. Oof.
You get in there. It's a tight fit, tighter than you expected, and you think that you may not be able to do it, but then you're definitely sure you're back in there, and you're pretty sure that you're if you stand really still, don't make any noises to call attention to yourself, that no one would have any reason to look down here and see you. And as far as your view, you have a you've got a pretty good view of the lower half of the room, right? You can't see the upper half of anything from your vantage point. On people, you know, it'd be like belly button up, or belly button down. Belly button up is what you can't see. You can't see the staircase coming in. And you can't see the wall that you are hiding on. That entire wall that contains the sideways barrels, you've got no view of.
Yeah. I'm mostly worried about seeing just the feet where they go.
And just for reference, the gate is on your right. The stairs back upstairs are on your left. I mean, it's a rather large room, but those are the directions they're in. The stairs are too far to the left to see, but you've obviously chosen one of the barrels that is close enough to the gate to see that. Without asking, obviously you would do that. And
all right,
you're feeling pretty good about your hiding spot.
Random question: if I get out to go tell Otto, am I gonna have to re-roll to get back in?
Yeah. This is your stealth roll for the positioning that you have done this time.
All right. I give a quick whistle for oh shit, I'm not supposed to whistle. Sorry, Dave. I give a quick whistle to see if I can get Otto down here.
All right. Upon hearing said whistle, Otto's going to head down into the cellar, possibly misinterpreting this as a call for help.
Ah. All right. You're in the cellar. Give me a perception. I don't know.
All right.
Unless, Arch, you just speak up the second he's down
I was gonna say when he comes down here, I just want to say, hey, yeah, I just gonna tell you, I'm probably gonna wait here to see what happens because I don't know when they're gonna send a guy down.
Okay.
But
you got really high intelligence.
I see. Of course, you have considered, my friends, that you're quite possibly going to be waiting here for at least 14, 16 hours. Yes.
If you could slip me a sandwich, that would be swell.
I will endeavor to do my best. In the meantime, Good
I
luck.
also realized I don't have any water. All I have is this stein of booze. Oh my god, I'm totally sticking with that. All right, yeah. If you can slip me a sandwich, I'll just be drinking booze and eating the sandwich.
It's a great. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
I'm gonna try
Nothing.
not to get drunk, but but yeah, like hey, if you could slip me a sandwich, I don't know if I can get back in here. In all honesty.
Well,
So,
I am not a strong man. Maybe if we should move something around so you can get in and out with some reasonable amount of thing, and then come back later. I'm
Is there-
concerned, my friends, that you will be falling asleep before they come to do whatever it is goes that way.
I give a shift, see if I can move stuff around from where I'm at. Like, can I
From
like
where you're
slide
at?
stuff side? I mean,
No,
I know
I
I'm okay, but
these
would
are
it be possible to
giant-
move these things? Yeah, they're giant. I don't
They're
think I
giant
can move.
barrels, much larger than a man, filled with liquid, and themselves made of wood
Frank.
and.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this, but why don't you just get on fucking top of the barrels? Like,
Huh. I'm a bit of an idiot. All right.
I
Would that even work?
don't want to say it
Wait,
because I
they're
wanted
as
to
tall as a
see.
man. They're like eye height.
Well,
Wait,
climb
how?
up
Okay, how
there.
tall?
Like, shit.
How tall are they?
They're taller than a man, but I mean,
Jump.
the space that is created at the top of the barrels is the same space created at the bottom of the barrels. The same sort of triangle, only it's the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Created by the ceiling and the top of the barrels as opposed to the floor and the bottom.
Convenient.
So it would be the same exact sort of hiding space, except for the bottom half of the room would be hidden from you, and you would have to re-roll to hide up there. Also, it's a matter of your personal opinion whether people are more likely to look at the top of the barrels or the bottom of the barrels, insofar as stealth. You would
I
be
figured-
closer to eye level if you climbed on top than hiding below. People would have to bend down to look at you.
I as much as I hate the idea of my character just like sitting there for 16 hours not doing a whole lot, I kind of
Uh-huh.
don't really see another way I can make sure that the guy just doesn't get the pistol now versus later.
Uh-huh.
So
So you're going to sit here for 16 hours? Brought to you?
yeah, if you can bring me like a sandwich or something I can eat without leaving a mess, I say slip me an extra stein too, just in case I need to use it.
I will do
see
my
this
best.
fucking like, okay, this is like a time lapse, right? There's a security
Yeah.
camera down here. There's a time lapse. Right? And it's like, hang
Just
on.
me.
No. It's like, hang on.
Bored.
Pause it right there, and they see this like arm coming up from the bottom of the barrel, and it's like holding a star, and he's like fumbling for the tap, and then he hits the tap, and it fills up, and then he like hits the tap with his hand, and then the arm disappears back underneath the barrel, and it's
Oh.
just like.
Okay, so I have to ask a question to figure this out. Otto, are you going to do anything else with your day other than try and sneak food to Arch?
Yes. First thing is a lovely comment to Arch. You Americans, I wish you could just be a bit more, shall we say, efficient. But it is your way. I will allow it.
Have you seen our cars?
Define wait, what do you mean efficient?
Well, reasonably, we only need you only need to be here for a very short period of time in the late evening / night to maybe
But how do we
catch
know it's the
someone.
late evening? All
Well,
we know is
how-
that they show up to our place late evening. We don't know what time they go there, what time they get the stuff.
That's a reasonable thing, but
And-
how long do you think one of the monks wishes to walk around with a firearm, even if it is just sentimental?
I was thinking more like they'd grab it, stick it in the desk, and then take it up later. All right, good point.
I do not know, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying that I suspect it won't be till late at night. So why wait here so long? I mean,
I was
then
so
I have
looking
to sneak
forward
you
to
things.
sitting. I was so looking. I would just meant like leave me a sandwich. I'll be okay with just a sandwich all day. Like you don't need to like grab it for me now
Otto?
and just keep it here. But
Yeah.
that said,
I need a perception check.
A monk comes
Alrighty.
down the stairs in order to get the gun. As
I
you're
was-
talking.
I was born for this.
Oh, yeah?
Holy
7
fuck, no
successes.
kidding.
God damn. There we
You
go.
hear a
If
couple
only the
footsteps
go-
heading towards the basement stairs.
Quick, scooch over.
I'm going
I'm
to-
coming in.
I'm going to shush him, and then I'm going to grab his stein from his hand, and
Mhm.
I'm going to make like I'm filling it from one of the casks.
All right, I clam up.
Okay. 2 monks come downstairs. They are
dumb Americans? Yeah, they're fucking stupid.
they're saying something in a language that is neither English nor
Yeah,
German.
that's monkey. That's
Out
monkey.
of-
Muppet, actually.
They don't speak Chinese by chance, do they?
No.
Dang.
Although it is it is a language that is native to this region. It is not any of the forms of Chinese.
Gotcha.
Yes, Rick. We need you to speak in actual Chinese right now, if you may.
Please.
Please don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't. That might be a little racist. Let's not do that.
I don't even know. Ni hao. That's
Okay.
the only thing I know because there was a children's show that was about that. Anyway, 2 monks come down the stairs. They are talking amongst themselves in whatever their language is.
Okay. I'll straighten up from the cask with with a full stein of whatever type of alcohol it was, and I'll say, good morning, friends, and then I'll start walking up the stairs.
Guten Tag, Herr Schultz. They'll both say.
So what? Anything interesting happening today, gentlemen?
I imagine you're saying this with like fucking like foam lip from drinking the beer as well, sort of thing.
Beer
Yeah,
milk
just-
mustache.
Yeah,
Just
milk
a little
process.
sip.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary today, Herr Schultz.
I've been meaning to speak to someone about the latest theory I have about the baths. I suppose I should probably speak with the abbot, but do you think that he would be so kind as to permit me a chance to sample some water after a bath has been drawn, but before someone has stepped in?
Certainly, Herr Schultz. I do not see any reason why that would be objected to.
Fantastic! I think I will go speak with him at once. I'm sorry, that is so brash of me. Was there something you wanted to talk about? After all, you came down to say hello to me, of course.
No, Herr Schultz. We came to Philistine.
Oh, Entschuldigung Sie mich. Please let me get out of your way. I will. Have you had breakfast yet?
Yes, we were just coming to quench a thirst.
Well then, I shall most certainly be seeing you for lunch then. And I'll start walking up the stairs.
Drunk monks of the manor.
They
Drunken
bow
master, man.
politely to you, and they head over to the barrels. Arch, you hear the monks speaking in their native language, filling a couple cups.
Arch, roll a constitution to make sure you don't drop a mad fart right now.
blah 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 blah. So.
No.
No, I have to wait about 2 or 3 hours before the gaseousness attacks. Actually, I'd say a good 6 hours. That would be a great way to get caught, actually.
Anyway, let's diagonal wipe. And we're back with Rex and the mafiosos.
Yep.
You guys are walking through the forest,
Yeah, that's
laughing back and forth at what each other has to say.
Probably not.
Holding hands, dancing.
Oodalali,
you know.
oodalali.
I'm
Golly,
not fond
yeah.
of being with these mafia men, as you could probably remember, but
Yeah, I'm joking for dramatic effect. Also, it's a reference that all of the cool people in the audience totally get.
well, okay then.
That's right, they know who they are. Anyway, you're walking through a very dense underbrush in the forest. You're keeping the cliffside to your right so as to ensure that you are heading north. You are not going to get lost, although you may or may not be taking the most efficient path through the forest.
Okay.
Is there anything in particular that you do or talk about on your rather long journey? It's going to be a couple-hour hike through the forest, at minimum.
No, I have absolutely no interest in talking to the mafia people.
Are you out in front, in the middle, in the back?
I'll be out front.
Okay.
I mean,
You-
mostly because I have terrible walking speed and I want to set the pace for the most part.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
You walk through the forest. You can hear the sounds of forest life all around you. The tweeting of birds, the other types of noises that animals make. Can I get a perception check, Rex?
Yeah. I suppose I can do that for you. Yeah, I believe it is 7. Yeah. 3. Apparently, I see nothing.
No. You do see something.
Okay.
In the distance,
Mm.
not very distant, a few yards in front of you, you see what appears to be a man-made rope coiled around a tree
Okay.
branch.
We'll go and investigate what it is, what the intention of a rope around a tree branch is supposed to be.
As you approach, carefully, I hope, you discern with if you have any amount of survival, which you say you do.
6.
Yeah, if you have any amount of survival, you are quite capable of discerning that this is a trap for small game. It is a little rope trap.
I set it off.
With your cane, or just by jostling it, or
No, I'll throw a stick on there. I'm not going to put my cane
He
in
jumps
it.
on it both. Oh.
I
dang it.
put both my feet in the trap. No. I set it off, yeah.
the rope wraps around the stick, and the tree bends and flings the stick into the air. And after some chaos and some creaking of branches and falling of leaves, the stick is suspended in the air by the rope.
Okay. What's the rope made out of?
Some sort of fibers.
Hemp?
Something in that, maybe not exactly hemp, but basically something in that family.
Okay. Well, then I look back at the guys. I'm like, well, let's keep going then.
They all shrug and they keep walking.
Yep. Is it, have we found any, like, life signs up until this point of, like, people, like, maybe human trails or anything like that coming through this region?
That's the first thing that you found along the path that you took, which is to say you didn't take a path, you just walked right through the forest.
Okay.
Um,
Was there any, like, human footprints or whatever around the trap?
did you stop and look around?
I did say I investigated it, but that's all right.
Well, you didn't roll an investigate check. I thought you were just saying, oh, I check out the
All
rope.
right, well, that's fine then. I guess I didn't do it.
I mean, you can have done if you
No,
want
it's all right.
to have investigated the area.
It's all good. It's too late
Well, no, I mean, technically, game hasn't moved past that point yet.
now.
You're still
then
there.
My intention here is that I want to work out whether or not this is a different group of people setting these traps or whether it's the people from the actual village.
Sure.
4 successes.
4 successes. You do find a footprint. What you can discern from the footprint is that the monks wear sandals. This is a boot print.
Okay.
It was not left by anyone in your group.
Mm.
So it's someone wearing boots who isn't a monk at the very least. Maybe a villager from the village on the cliff, but at the very least, it's definitely not a monk.
Okay. I say to the other people, like, there might be another village around here somewhere.
Oh, yeah? Says Benny.
Yeah. Keep your eyes out for these game traps. There might be something bigger further on, closer we get to wherever it is that these people are.
Oh man, we better be careful. It might be one of those pit traps or something.
Yeah, maybe something along what the lines that the Japanese used to do.
Penny shrugs. He doesn't have a classical education. He doesn't know
Bamboo,
anything about the Japanese.
like the traps that sort of injure people rather than kill them or whatever. So.
Oh man, sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception again, Dave,
4.
as Rex. You hear something in the distance. It sounds like
I drop my cane and give chase. No.
Fly.
you rip your shirt open, revealing your hairy chest and tribal war
Superman
paint.
logo.
I replace my broken leg with a functional leg that I have in my backpack, and then I chase after them.
You spin it off like you're an action figure. Spin, it falls off. You screw the other leg on, spin on.
That's a quick release, man. Come on. What do you think this is?
Oh man, such amateur hour. It sounds like some sort of thwacking through the underbrush. Maybe someone cutting leaves.
I sort of do the thing where I mention everyone to get down.
They all sort of get down.
You say get down.
No,
So they start dancing, and a disco ball lowers from the tree.
Sorry,
Sorry,
like,
that
the
was,
disco
that
ball
was my
doesn't
favorite
work.
statement ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all
Keep
good.
going.
You all get low.
You skag, you skag.
It occurs to you that even at his lowest, Henry the Home Run Haddock is quite large and noticeable. You may not necessarily be able to hide him in time, as whatever it is fastly approaching. Or not super fastly, it's not running, but it is approaching steadily.
Okay. Well, I guess it's up to Haddock to hide himself. I'm not his mother.
All right. Through the underbrush appears a man.
Okay.
He is wearing safari-style clothing that has many holes and tears. Pieces of junk fabric are wrapped around those holes at the knees and wrists, etc. He has incredible mutton chops and a safari hat, and he is using a machete to cut his way through the underbrush.
I stand up and I say, hello.
Whoa! Hello there. Who
Uh,
might you be?
My name is Rex Holt. I am somewhat of a captive of the dumb Monkville over there. Do you happen to know of it?
Ah, newcomers to the village, eh?
Are you a part of the village?
Well, I live out here because I don't like them so much.
Ah, a man after my own heart. I woke up and I put my hand out.
He pauses. As
Say your name.
I did. I said my name was Rex Holt.
Oh, okay.
He pauses and looks at the hand for a little bit quizzically. And I go, oh, right. Oh, my name is Wilhelm. That's right. My name is Wilhelm. Sorry.
Pleasure to meet you, Wilhelm. You look like you've been here quite a while.
Yeah. I think. Maybe.
Interesting.
Listen. Did you see a sprung trap around here?
Yes, I sprung it.
Of course. Of course. I was quite looking forward to. No matter. Would you like to come by the cabin? I have a cabin. It's been a while since I've had guests. Would you like to come around?
I look back at the group and I'm like, absolutely.
All right. He will sort of motion to the group and lead you off through the forest back the way that he came.
Can I just real quickly do an empathy check on him?
Sure.
Just want to make sure that he's not like cannibalistic. I don't know.
Sure. Why don't you roll?
Body language, like seeing another human being, the fact that he didn't know what to do when he shook my hand, that sort of thing. I want to like.
Sure.
You know,
Roll it.
Yeah.
Roll it, you motherfucking piece of... I mean,
2.
You don't really get any insights.
Actually, sorry, it's a 9. What am I doing? Let me roll another 4.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So 4.
4 total. So with 4, I mean, you've heard stories of people who've been out of touch with civilization for a while. He's just remembered. He just has completely forgotten, really, socialization in general. He doesn't seem like he means any malice. He doesn't seem threatening in any way.
Perfect.
He doesn't also seem suspicious of you. He just is a little out of touch.
All right, perfect. Now, as you were.
Well, as I was, show's over. We have reached the end of our time slot.
Yeah.
And we have come to a great place to end. Arch is hiding under some barrels. Otto
Trying not to piss in a cup.
Otto has just deftly avoided suspicion in any sort of clandestine attempt to enter the cellar. And Rex has found a mysterious jungle man in the forest who is going to eat him, almost certainly.
After the sex.
Well, he eats them, then he has sex with them.
How is that possible?
Well, he doesn't eat the whole thing. I mean, you got to save some for tomorrow.
Gross.
And tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
So, good. Creep.
So, thank you, everyone, for playing, and thank you, audience at home, for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. If you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, there is a few things you can do. The first thing is you can follow the channel that you're watching it on, be that Hitbox or Twitch. Either one is good, and every follow really helps me out. So that's always good. If you want to see more Die Party content, we've got over 170 odd hours over on the archived YouTube channel, which is down below. If you're not there, if you're watching this somehow, go to Hensicle. I'm sorry, it's a terrible name, but it is spelled how it sounds. Tomorrow, I might be playing a little bit of Hotline Miami tonight. I'll probably play for maybe an hour after this. We'll see. But on Saturday we will potentially. I don't know yet. We'll have to talk. We're not going to be playing our regular scheduled Die Party Blood Jews because one of our players is going to a wedding, and it would be good.
Fucking
to have
lifelong happiness weddings get in the way of gameplay.
him.
He's not getting married.
But he's
He's
helping
going
other
to
people
a
with their
wedding.
fucking
Yeah.
happiness.
Oh, we didn't really.
And Dave, why don't we talk about how this show won't be on Thursdays anymore? Huh?
That's a good point. We're going to be moving it to Saturdays. We're going to be making a thing called the Die Party Game Day, which is 2 different Die Party games, Hex and Blood Juice back to back, with an hour's break in between. On Saturday, starting at, God, what time did we say it was? 10 a.m. PST, I believe.
Right. You may have
Saturday.
noticed, astute viewers among you, that this show hasn't happened several weeks in a row, and that's because Thursdays occur in the middle of the work week. Who knew?
Yeah.
So conflicts easily arise.
Yeah.
We are moving Hex to Saturday so that conflicts do not arise as easily as they have in the past,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can get these shows out without interruption for the foreseeable future.
I don't know if we'll play if the game day will start this Saturday because I want to make some stuff for it, but I'm pretty sure it'll happen next Saturday. So
Yeah, so instead of Thursday next week, we'll do it on Saturday, is
Yeah.
basically what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You'll have to wait slightly more than 7 days for more Hex, but you're used to that by now. You had to wait 3 weeks last time.
But the good thing is if you join us on Saturday, you'll be treated to a lot of role-playing content on Twitch.
2 games for the price of 1, which is free. You don't pay anything unless you, I don't know how you could
I mean,
possibly.
if you want to, feel free to mail us money. That's totally cool as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as
I
it's
know.
not like drug money.
Well, I have a working PayPal
You know what?
now.
Hey,
so
drug
maybe
money
this
cleans
isn't
up just like any other money. If you are a drug dealer who wants to send me lots and lots of money without involving me in anything illegal, I'm kind of okay with that. Hint, hint.
Okay. Well, while Frank is getting butt searched in the near future, we will be
By the
playing
NS.
some stuff later on. But thank you very much for watching, guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Bye.
get something to eat, and then I'll be back.
Later.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh my God, Graham.
He was here the whole time.
Still here?
It's coming from inside the Skype call.
Were you listening to us?